Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you some custom Phase 2 clone troopers, including Commander Rex, Commander Cody, Fives, the ARC Trooper, Echo, and Captain Fordo from the 2003 Clone Wars. Most of these guys were made by simply using paper and either with the kind of pauldrony things and karmas, they were just paper versions of the Lego cloth pieces that were drawn on and then put onto the figure, but with some of them, like obviously the whole face part for Captain Rex, is just stuck on with blue-tack. And yeah, blue-tack does not ruin the printing on Lego figures in any way whatsoever. I've tested it multiple times, so you should be all good with these guys. So let's take a closer look. Here is the ARC Trooper CT5555 or Fives. And he was the first one of these guys that I made. This was like a long while ago. So for the legs, they're just plain blue ones. I do have some blue Clone Trooper legs from the Special Forces Clone Trooper from Jack 14 Stealth Starfighter, but I wanted to keep those on that Clone Trooper because I'm using him for something. And the torso is from the 501st Jet Trooper from 501st Legion Clone Troopers, same with the helmet, and also the head is from Kanan Jarrus because he has a beard. I would have used the head so this requires a bit of backstory. When the Ghost Lego set was first released, they gave Kanan black hair and of course printed a black beard on his face. And I have the later version of the Ghost where they updated the Kanan minifigure to have brown hair and a brown printed beard and eyebrows. But if you do have that black Kanan figure, then I definitely recommend you use that face print over the newer one because of the black hair. Anyway, he's got this double pauldron, which came in the Special Clone Troopers Battle Pack with Commando Droids or whatever it's called from 2012. I don't actually have that, but I just copied the design for the pauldron online. For the backpack, it just uses a black bracket piece and this hinge piece, so you can just put that on there. You can add more to it or copy the actual ARC Trooper minifigures backpack from 2012 if you have that, or just copy it from online. For the Karma, you may notice that it's got like a bit of tape on it. I made it a long time ago, so it's kind of breaking a bit. I should probably redo it, but I haven't gotten around to doing that. For the blasters, there's just two of these ones. You know the ones, they come in the Mandalorian Starfighter or the Bad Batch shuttle. Those are some recent sets with them, although these I had from a while ago. And let's move on to the next one. So here is CT1409 or Echo in his Phase 2 armor from the Bad Batch arc of Clone Wars Season 7 from after the Bad Batch saves him from Skako Minor. He's got a paper torso thing that just wraps around that has, I just drew on it to make it look like in the show. You can do it digitally if you want, that'll probably get you a better result. Like mine's a kind of fuzzy, you may notice, because it's just done in pencil. So yeah, the legs are just 501st Legion Clone Trooper legs. The torso underneath can be, any one, but I just used the one from the blank 2014 Clone Trooper from the Clone Turbo Tank Microfighter. That's the helmet from that figure as well, by the way. I've also got blue-tack on his hand to be the kind of robot attachment thing that he's got there, because I don't like switching out the hands for different things, because if they come in one piece, like they do, the torsos, arms, and hands, they come together, so I reckon they should stay together. And also, if you keep taking them out and putting them back in, they'll eventually get loose. So I don't really like doing that to my figures, so I just used a bit of blue tack on there to make that. For the helmet, I've just got this bit of paper stuck on there with blue tack for the long visor, and also some paper coming down to kind of get that bottom part of the visor covered up, and also 3 blue stripes on top. As you can see, they're kind of crumpled and getting ruined, so I should redo those as well, because this guy's quite old, but some of the other ones are newer, and yeah. So let's move on. Here is Captain Fordo from the 2003 Clone Wars series. If you don't know who he is, you should watch him. He is a beast, he's amazing. But yeah, he's a pretty cool clone trooper, so I used mostly parts from Captain Neo from the Battle on Seleucami set. So he's got the helmet from him with a red stripe made of paper and 2 J guys stuck on there. It's kind of hard to get them stuck all the way down. They'll probably peel up a bit on the edges, but you can just squish those down. Yeah, he's got the J guys on there, kind of like on Captain Rex, which are like, yeah, I'm not sure if they were officially J guys when 2003 Clone Wars came out, but you know, they're the same kind of thing. He also uses the torso from Commander Neo because he has the same kind of belt thing and whatever you want to call that. And I just use Commander Neo's legs because why not if I'm using the rest of him. I just use the angry clone head because not really going to take off his helmet, may as well just leave it on. I also made a paper pauldron and also some arm printing. I'll show you how to do that before we move on to the next figure. So yeah, that's Captain Fordo. And yeah, for the arm printing, I didn't do a great job since I just drew it, but I'll show you the measurements on a separate piece of paper where I wrote them down. So you can copy that and make your own arm printing for your minifigures. So I pretty much just scribbled this down on a bit of scrap paper while I was making the figures, so excuse the messy handwriting, I'm not very neat. Anyway, so to make the arm printing, you're going to want to draw a 4mm line and 2 3mm lines, and then right at about approximately the angle of a Lego minifigure arm. It doesn't need to be exact, it won't look too bad on the figure if it's slightly off, but you're going to want to get it mostly right. Just draw just draw one 5mm line up there, and then 1mm diagonal line, 2mm straight line, another 1mm diagonal line, and then a 5mm line down the other side, just so you can make sure they're parallel. And then you'll be left with that little gap where you can just draw a curved line, and then you can like draw in the stuff you want to put on the arm. So yeah, that's the basics of doing that. Here is Commander Cody. So pretty much his helmet is the only thing I've really done stuff to, but he uses the torso from the legs from the 212th Clone Troopers from the Utapau Troopers Battle Pack, and the torso from Phase 1 Commander Cody from the 2008 Republic Attack Gunship, although I think he comes in another set as well. We just use that to get that specific, those 3 lines there on his chest, because, you know, we don't have a Phase 2 version of that or anything. No Phase 2 Cody exists still. Hopefully we get one soon. And for the helmet, basically 2 brown stripes along there. Or they can be grey, doesn't really matter. I also drew that thing that goes on his chin, kinda. Just noticed that bit was a little bit off. There we go, kind of fixed it. But yeah, you can just draw a little thing to go there, do some measuring. And then for the visor, I just got an actual Lego visor, measured how big it was, and then drew a little thing on paper. And I also added these antennas that Cody has. And of course I colored the antennas in on both sides so it wasn't white on one side and grey on the other. But yeah, and you may notice that the visor is a little bit bent because, yeah, that was an accident, but I might redo it. Same with the other figures. But yeah, there you go. Commander Cody, Phase 2 Commander Cody. And here is the only one of these figures which has an actual Lego counterpart, although he was released in 2013 in a $45 set, and now costs like 70 to $100. So I don't think I'm gonna have any chance of getting him anytime soon. So pretty much 501st Trooper legs from the 501st Battle Pack. The torso from a plain Clone Trooper can be one of the Phase 1 ones from 2013 or a Phase 2 one. They both use the same torso and leg print. He's got a helmet. I just used the one from Jack 14 from the Yoda Chronicles because I don't use him as much as my other Clone Troopers, but really it can be any Clone Trooper helmet. And then I put in a rangefinder with blue-tack And then I also gave him some arm printing for the blue stripe because I felt he needed that. Also on the other side underneath the pauldron, he's also got a comma which has the blue stripe around it, although it is hard to see, so I should probably redo that like the other things. He uses these pistols, which I got from the 2008 Republic Attack gunship, although they come in a few other sets and they'd probably be better in black if you have that. And if I take off I'll explain what's on with the helmet. So pretty much, it doesn't look great because it was actually printed, and if you fold something right after it's printed, it'll probably get those white crackly lines. So again, I should probably redo that. But pretty much, I found a decal website, and it pretty much had like a picture of a blank clone trooper, which is what you'd be buying, and then a decal sheet next to it on the ground of all the little decals that would be put on. And it had on that weird angle Rex's helmet, so screenshotted that, and I used Photoshop to kind of get it into perspective. And as you can see, some of the parts are still a little bit too thin or thick or whatever, but yeah, pretty much just find it somewhere and warp it into perspective, or you could use it from actual Captain Rex's helmet if you can figure out how to do that. But yeah, and then I printed it out and just folded it around the helmet, and it worked pretty well, I think. I also put some bits of paper underneath the top parts there to kind of cover up the rest of the printing that was on the clone trooper that I used for the helmet. And if I take off the helmet, I used the 501st Trooper helmet because he's Rex and I might want to take off his helmet. Oh, that's stuck to it. That's very strange. So I drew this because I wasn't bothered to find it online or anything. It's just the kind of thing that's attached to the comma with that little bit there. You can just do some measuring and draw one up for yourself. It's not too hard. And then the pauldron as well as a separate piece. So even though in universe the pauldron does actually cover a bit of this thing, I decided to put that thing on top because otherwise white bits from the part of the pauldron that goes around the neck would stick out on top of the other thing and it would look kind of weird. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I will see you in the next video. If you enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe if you like the content that I make and want to support the channel. Comment if you would like me to make any more specific clone troopers, and please ones that are within my grasp of making, not like a crazy one like an ARF trooper. I don't have the helmet mold for that, so no ARF troopers or anything, but yeah. Thanks for watching, goodbye.